Hello and welcome to my Tarot Corner. So a quick update on the situation here. As always in the past few weeks, tomorrow we are starting a week long until next Thursday. It's going to be very hectic for us since probably next week we will be heading towards Jerusalem, and we're going to be there for a few days. The voting for the law that was supposed to start the decline of our democracy was delayed because the Prime Minister was hospitalized last Saturday, and up until now we weren't really informed about his health in an open and sincere way. We didn't get a real update on his health like President Biden, for example, gives an update about his health every year, I think, and other prime ministers all over the world give yearly updates on their health. We didn't get an update about Netanyahu's health for, I think, 10 years. And his personal physician is a pediatrician for a man that is over 70. And last Saturday, there are all sorts of stories. Some say that he lost consciousness. Some say that he just didn't feel too good. But he was driven to a hospital that is at least 40 minutes drive from his home. He skipped at least 4 hospitals on the way. He went to that hospital that has a very big cardiologic center, and he was hospitalized in the cardiology department, and they claimed that all he had was dehydration, but he was there for the night, and the day afterwards they say that they put in an intradermal halter, but we are all very skeptical about the information that we are getting. So because of that, the entire process of passing the law that was supposed to start today was delayed, and now we are thinking that it's going to be delayed at least until next Sunday or maybe Monday. So we are starting our main events of protests tomorrow, and we already have a few lineups for tomorrow, but most of the big events are being released as the time comes, because we don't want the opposition to try and sabotage us. So it's not very easy here, and there are a lot of arguments. I can tell you that from a physician point of view, the doctors put out a very severe letter to the Association of Doctors here, that we call the association to declare a strike if the law passes. And some doctors where their reaction was very negative. In our letter, we wrote that we refuse to become the doctors and the scientists of Germany in 1933, the ones who joined the Nazi Party, the ones who allowed the euthanasia program to go on. The ones who joined the concentration camps in order to perform all sorts of terrible medical trials. So we said this is what we wrote, and I have to say that before the protests began, the Medical Association of Doctors had a big, survey done on all doctors and asked them whether or not they want the association to be involved in opposition against the judicial reform, and whether or not they agree to the judicial reform or not. And 90% of the doctors said that they oppose this judicial reform, and they want the Medical Association to oppose it and to take steps if the judicial reform is going forward. But there are 10% of the doctors that oppose this, and that 10% of doctors are people that think that this judicial reform is not that dangerous. They are right-wing doctors who are, most of them, religious. Most of them are people that live in settlements in the territories, in the occupied territories. Some of them live in Jerusalem, but most of them are religious, not all. Some of them are just right-wingers, and they believe in the extreme right-wing messages of this government, and they do not see the danger that this judicial reform is on our democracy. So they raised a big shout out about this, and they opposed the way that we made this compromise, the way that we tried to comparison between us and the doctors in Nazi Germany. But I have to say that as someone who read a lot about Germany, Nazi Germany, the Nazis as a whole, and about the Holocaust, I have to say that I had a feeling that what is happening here is very similar to what happened in Germany in the 1930s, even before this government was elected. And I am afraid. I am very, very afraid. Okay, so this is my update. And just to say that I'm going to try and do 2 readings today, so that you will have an extra reading, because I will probably won't be able to do a reading tomorrow, and I'm not sure about the rest of the week. Okay, so so this reading is going to be about the rumors about Harry wanting to go back to the UK. Yes or no, did he contact William? Did he talk to William? Did William say yes? Did he even talk to him? Was there a conversation? Well, Neil Sean said no. But many other people, and even yesterday I saw a headline in the Express about it. So many other people say that Harry is pushing this narrative of going back to the UK, but others say that Meghan was, livid about it, that she was not willing to go back. And even if Harry wants to go back, I don't think that anyone in the royal family would like Meghan to come back with him. So even if he does want to come back, will he go back by himself? Will he leave the children with Meghan? So it's complicated. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the BS detector reading, but I am going to expand it with clarifying each card as I do in my recent readings. And in both of my readings today, I am going to use similar tarot and oracle decks. So I'm going to use in this reading the tarot of druids. So these are the deities that this is the deities that I'm using today, the druids. So this is the tarot of druids. And let's start by saying my disclaimer. So this is a tarot reading. It is vibrational. It is open to interpretation. It exists as assumptions and speculation, and as such may or may not be true. So please do your own research and decide for yourselves. Okay, so let's start by clearing the deck. And let's start asking. So, is Harry really willing to go back to the UK? Does he want to go back by himself, or does he want to go back with his family? Is William willing to have Harry back? Is it by himself or with his family? What does King Charles think about Harry coming back by himself or with his family? What is the truth and what is the lie behind the publication of Harry having had a phone call with William and discussing the possibility of him coming back to the UK and to the royal family? What is the truth and what is the lie behind the publication that Harry wants a truce with the royal family? Does he really want a truce with the royal family? Is William willing to forgive Harry? And what does King Charles feel about the possibility of a truce with William? So what is the truth and what is the line between the publications that Harry wants to go back to the UK and he wants a truce with his family? Okay, so let's cut the deck. And the first card is going to give us an overview of the question or the situation. And what I'm getting here is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is the spoiled kid. This is a person that is not doing things by himself. This is a person that waits for others to do things for him. And in this instance, we see the Knight of Swords with his sword inside stuck in the tree. So this is a very clumsy Knight of Swords. This is not a knight that is out there to fight for himself. So this actually shows us a person that is not willing to do things by himself. This is a person that is well, in a way, waiting for things to happen by themselves, waiting for things for others to do the work for him, not really wishing to do things by himself, but this causes him to miss opportunities. So this is a person who's kind of stubborn. And this doesn't give us a clear picture on what exactly Harry wants, because stubbornness can tell us that he is stubborn enough to want to stay in the UK despite losing everything, and even if he does loses everything, he will not do anything to try and go back. But stubbornness can also say that he might want others to do the work for him, so he wants to go back to the UK in order to enjoy having everything done for him without really having the need to think about money problems, without the need to think about fending for himself. So this could lead us to both of these probable solutions. So let's try and expand this. So first, the first option is Harry going back to the UK, and the answer is the Seven of Pentacles. So going back to the UK is disappointment from reality, and being, well, in a way, being willing to do whatever you can to reach the truth. This is what the Seven of Pentacles is all about. So this is a strong card. This is not a yes, but it is not a no. It is about being disappointed from his own from his reality and willingness to do something in order to change it. This is what this card is all about. So if we're talking about being willing to go to the UK, this could very much be a yes. Let's see what is the card that we're getting with about not going to the UK, and we're getting the Seven of wait a minute, this is the Chariot card, so if I'm not mistaken. But in this deck, it is also about a god that is called Nauda, which it is an Irish god. And this is a warlike god who lost sovereignty following physical disability. But I don't know, this god, another god gave him a silver arm. So it's about discoveries, it's about reward, it is about difficult tests and errors, this specific card. And the Chariot card is about not giving up the dream. It is about being assertive. It's about going out for a war, even if you are, even if you don't feel that you feel that you are losing it. If you feel weak, but not giving up on a dream. But when we are comparing, and this is a good lesson, when we are comparing a major arcana with a suit card, the suit card always win. Why is that? Because the major arcana is a spiritual card. It's not a card that you can. It's not tangible card. It's not a card that is going down to the ground. It's not grounded. And unless we have a very bad card like the Two of Swords, the Three of Swords, no, the Three of Swords or the Nine of Swords, a very, very bad card, even the Ten of Swords, unless we have a very bad suit card, the major arcana is always less is not as strong, because it is not, it's the possibility of going and fulfilling the message of this card is not as strong as the possibility of fulfilling the message of the minor arcana. So if we're looking at both possibilities, it seems like the Seven of Pentacles wins, and he's more towards going back home, at least right when he's thinking about these possibilities. Okay, so if we're looking at the Knight of Swords, what the Knight of Swords represents, the Knight of Swords represents, when he's thinking about going back, represents his wish to be the spoiled kid, the one who people do everything for him, and he doesn't need to go on thinking about where does he produce money from, where does he start making more, what will he do tomorrow, where will they come up with more contracts, what will they do, where will he pay the bills from. So he is really, it's really unbearable for him. It's really, really hard for him. It's something that he finds abhorrent. It's something that he wants to get rid of, and this is why the Knight of Swords came. So this is why he is thinking about going back. It doesn't mean that he did call William. It does say that he, in his mind, thinking about going back. Okay, so then what is the lie behind the entire publications, that he called William, that they spoke, that he did talk about going back? And what we're getting, this is the lie, and this is the magician. Once again, I will go and I will look about this god. This god is called Log. So let's see what this god represents in this deck. And this god is the main god of the Celts, connected with numerous place names, and it represents achievement, belief in personal ideas, confusion, and it also represents confusion and disorientation. And once again, because this is the lie, we need to look at the negative aspects of the magician. So this is, what is the lie behind the magician? When we're talking about the magician, we're talking about the lie. This is about a person that is egotistical, a person who ignores solutions. This is about deceptions. This is about trickery for self-gain. This is about a person that, for him, the goal justifies the means. Selfish communication. And this is interesting, selfish communication. That could mean that he did call William, because this is, for him, this is a selfish communication. Manipulation, that could be also a way of trying to manipulate William. Some kind of trickery, lies, slicked tongue. But this is, when the magician is badly aspected, it is also about lack of communication. It's also about confusion. It's about being egotistical. It's about fear of acting. It's about looking for outside affirmation. And so we have here two options. We have option of lack of communication and selfish communication. So let's look at these two options. So did he communicate with William out of selfish communication, or did he not communicate with William at all? So first is, did he communicate? The first option is the selfish communication, and what I'm getting here is the 9 of Wands. So the 9 of Wands is not a very good card because it's a card that speaks about withstanding obstacles. But it's not such a bad card as well, because it is also it is about withstanding obstacle. It is about believing that if you are withstanding all of those obstacles, everything will be okay. It is about believing that, well, if you carry this boy up there, he will be able to pick up all of those well, leaves, whatever they are. So this is about carrying the burden, and being able to carry the burden in order to get something. So it is about being able to withstand the pressure, the obstacles. So this could be a yes answer for selfish communication. Let's see, what do we get for no communication at all? And we're getting the Ace of Wands. Okay, so the Ace of Wands is a yes answer. It's a clear yes answer. And I believe that he did not, if we are comparing both of them, although 9 is bigger than 1, the Ace of Wands is always a winner, and this is a whole number. This is a clear yes. So the Ace of Wands tells us that there is lack of communication. There is no communication at all. So from here we know that Harry didn't communicate with William, none whatsoever. But let's go from here. Had he communicated with William, what would William say to Harry? What would William think about a possibility of Harry coming alone? And what would he say if Harry wanted to come with Meghan? And alone, the answer would have been the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands, that is the queen that we usually, we say that Meghan is the Queen of Wands. This is the woman who is egotistical, the woman who is, she wants to perform in front of an audience. But it also is a woman who, the archetype of a person who is able to create, to manifest, to perform, and someone who is caring about the children, the family, and manage the family, someone who has personal responsibility. So in this instance, I think that if Harry had spoken to William and had said, I want to come alone, William would have said to him, what about the children? Are you going to leave the children with that woman? Are you going to leave the children with the Queen of Wands? Is this what you're going to do? Where is your responsibility to your children? So I think that this is the main thing that William would have said to Harry if that was the conversation. And if Harry would have said that he wants to come with Meghan, then William would have said, this is the World card, but I just want to see what does this what this deck has to say about this card, because this has okay, so this is about Ireland. As you can see, we have the map of Ireland here, and it's Ireland surrounded by totemic animals, and it's about victorious undertaking, success in love, but it's also about insurmountable obstacles and defeat. So I think that here William would have said and you know that the World card, it's about endings and beginnings. It's about a beginning of a new cycle. It's about ending of a cycle. And I think that here William would have said to Harry, this is an obstacle that we cannot fathom. This is an end of a cycle. You need to end this cycle completely. This is an obstacle that we cannot live with. Okay, but let's just for the let's see the game. Let's see, what does King Charles think about the possibility of Harry coming back alone? And the answer is the Tower. Okay, so for King Charles, it's not a very good idea that Harry will come alone. It is well, he's looking at it, and remember, Harry coming alone is Harry coming without the children, and King Charles feels that this will shake the foundations. He really feels that the foundations of the royal family, the foundations of maybe of Harry's existence, will be shaken if he comes without his children. But William, for King Charles, he looks at it as something that could be very difficult. Remember that this is about running forward and doing things without thinking. This is about betrayal. This is about divorce. So he knows that if this happens, it will be a result of a divorce, but it will also mark a self-destruction of Harry, and it is a big loss. So he's afraid that this will be a reckless move, that this will be destructive, that this means that it will be a very superficial way to deal with the whole problem. So he's not happy about Harry coming back by himself. But what does he think about Harry coming back with Meghan? And Harry coming back with Meghan is the Knight of Cups. So he's not against that, but he thinks that it's a fantasy. The Knight of Cups is the fantasizer. And because he fantasizes, he's someone who misses opportunities because of that. So King Charles would accept Meghan if they decide, both of them, to come back. But he sees reality, and he's realistic enough to understand that this is a fantasy, that this cannot happen. Okay. So this was only the first part of the BS detector. The second part of the BS detector is the truth. This was the lie. So the truth is the Queen of Cups. So as I said, the lie was that Harry did not contact William. And the truth is that he is going to go in the path that the Queen of Cups is pushing forward. Now, the Queen of Cups is also the archetype of King Charles, because this is the Scorpio card, and King Charles is Scorpio. But in this instance, I don't think that this means that he was in contact with King Charles. as you see here, I don't think that Harry was in contact with him. Here, I think that it means the archetype of the Queen of Cups, which is being adventurous, going out and taking risks. But also, if you remember, I always tell you that that Harry himself is the archetype of the Queen, of the King of Cups, which is the person who is very, very, well, unstable mentally, someone who is always seeing himself as someone who is not getting what he deserves, someone who is the deprived, motivated by emotional instability. The Queen of Cups is, well, she is also someone who is not very stable, but she's someone that will destroy in order to build something new. But she's someone who's breaking conventions, someone who is well, very prone to addictions, someone who is resentful, someone that will go out for a vengeance. And I think that everything that Harry has done up until now is very much like the Queen of Cups, and I think because it is a mix of Harry, he is a mix of both of them, and the Queen of Cups is also someone who has instability. So he's going to go on in that path, and this only makes me feel that the next reading is imperative. So yeah, he is going to go on, and despite the fact that they said that they're not going to talk about the royal family, as someone said this week, this is the only thing that they have. This is their only currency. They have nothing left. Netflix doesn't want anything else from them, no matter what they are trying to say. And this is what they have. They have nothing more, nothing else to sell. So he has no other choice. So the vengeance and the resentment, it's going to go on. Okay, so what are we going to see in the aftermath? What is going to be the result? And we're getting here the Nine of Cups. So it's interesting because the Nine of Cups is a good card. It's not a bad card. It's about wishes coming true. But it is badly aspected because it comes after the Tower. It comes after many other not so good cards. And the Nine of Cups, when it's not so good, it shows us a person that is over materialistic, that is restless, and is expecting success when without much effort. And it is the end, it's like closing a circle, because we started with the Knight of Swords, which is the spoiled kid, someone who expects others to do things for him. And just because of that, he is in a way thinking deep inside that maybe it's a good thing to go back to the royal family. But he is still staying with that need for others to do things for him, the need for success to come without real effort. And because of that, the one thing that he will do is go back to the things that work, which is going back to resentment and vengeance against his family. So this is it for the tarot. Okay, so the oracles today are going to be first a fairy oracle, one of the Doreen Virtue's oracles, the healing with the fairies. So this is it. And this is a message for William. What should William do if Harry does decide to call him. So let's clear the deck. Okay, so what should William do if Harry decides to call him? What should William do if Harry decides to call him? And what we're getting here is honor your true feelings. So this is well, I don't think that I really have to go back to the booklet to go to the whole message, but because it's really very easy to understand. But well, it's clear cut. Honor your true feelings. Don't wait, but I'll read the short version. By drawing this card, your urge to listen to and follow your true feelings. Do not betray yourself or rationalize that it's acceptable to deny your inner voice of truth. And this is, well, the best message for William. Okay, now I'm going to use the mystical keeper, which is the first keeper tarot. There is something that the keeper that most of us know and use is the keeper that was redone by Ciro Marchetti, which is a bigger deck, and he has a few extra cards, but the mystical keeper is the original keeper. So I'm just going to ask for a card that describes Harry as he is today. Okay, so clearing the deck. Which card? Okay, what we got here is a good gentleman. Interesting. So is he a good gentleman? Okay, so this is an important person card. The man has influence. He has best interest at heart. It may represent a father, a brother, sometimes an older person. Okay, so this is not, maybe not someone that is, has vengeance and real feelings of goodness in heart. I'm not sure how much it really represents Harry, but Harry is someone who has some kind of importance, and as Neil Sean says, he actually is afraid of his wife. So sometimes you think that maybe most of the things that he does, he is not doing because of himself, but because of the fear of his wife. But, well, he is an important person, that's for sure. And you know what? Look who is going with him. The lion. The lion is Meghan. So I don't think that we got this card by a coincidence. Okay, divination of the ancients. This message is for King Charles. If Harry wants to go back home, what should King Charles do? What tool does he need to use in order to find help if Harry wants to go back home? Clearing the deck once more. Okay, so a message for King Charles if Harry wants to go back home, how to deal with Harry if he wants to go back to the UK, how should King Charles deal with Harry? Shooting star, confirmation. Let's see. Okay, so all you have hoped for is about to be realized. Keep your thoughts positive, for your manifestation abilities are strong and can turn the outcome either way. Be careful what you wish for. Interesting. Okay, so this is it for this reading. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment, and I will see you in the next one that will come not so far away. Bye bye.